Hello, everybody. My hair is sticking up in the front for some reason. Oh well. Hi. Happy Friday, and welcome to yet another edition of our Art Throwdown. It is, oh my God, it's Wednesday, no, Friday. It's Friday, August 14th, and it's time to get crafting. Yay. It's a fine way to spend a Friday evening. There is Russell. And this time I actually got your requests to join. So I'm letting you in. Now I get to look at all these cool pictures.
Hello!
Hello.
Wow, I saw a big old thumb there. Hey, Ashley, welcome. Hello.
Hello. I'm looking at your coloring
I'm
book.
being squiggy, Lenny and Squiggy.
I still don't know that
Hello.
reference. I've never seen the show.
She did a link of all of the entrances of Lenny and Squiggy. That was their every episode. They would come in and open the door and they go
That
hello.
assumes that I watched it, which I didn't watch it.
Well, no, but it's available. I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's
In
available.
other words, do my
That
homework. Do your homework, man.
no. Hey, Nick, welcome.
Do some homework. Look at, take the plunge. Oh wait, it's backwards.
It's backward. That's
I
fine.
just
But
picked
that is
tonight's
one of my
project.
favorite. I like the. I know you like those black background ones. I like the. I prefer the other sea turtle one because it's a bigger image. I find it a little bit easier to color.
This one
But
is a
that's gonna
lower
make
investment, less
no, not
less
well.
less to color.
That is true, and that's one of the hard things is to decide what you're going to do with those backgrounds. If you're going to fill
Yeah,
it in, if you're not going to fill it in, that kind of thing. But
because I
yes,
can't not
um,
make this without like buttloads of detail. I mean, let's be
right.
honest. Oh, here it is. Yeah. Here, this is the super detailed one, and I'm like, this is
Yeah,
gonna take me three
yeah.
years to color. So,
Well, no, but see, but if you take each one of those hexagons that are
yes.
show the big one again.
Oh, oops.
Whoops, sorry.
Yeah, here.
Yeah. So if you that's one, two, three, four, five, the pentagons. So if you take one, two, no, that's six. If you take each one of those six-sided figures and color it the same way, it fills itself in. So it may not be as detailed as you think it is once you figure it out. But yes, the investment of figuring it out. Yes, thank you very
Yes,
much.
investment in
Yeah,
figuring it out.
yeah.
This is a lower entry
It,
point. It's quicker.
it's much more manageable. I like to
I'm
say
like
yes. Yep,
diving right into
absolutely.
this.
But that's gonna make a beautiful envelope, though.
Oh
I
yeah,
think,
oh
which
yeah.
is
I've
what.
got some
Yeah.
plans. Oh, and actually, I will show you guys. This is the hummingbird. No, I'm not sure what these
Oh,
are. Sparrows.
sparrows.
This one I worked on the week that you were not around, and Jim
That
and
is
I were just
beautiful.
we just did coloring page after coloring
Yeah,
page. Like we knocked these
that's beautiful.
out.
I really like that one. Is that
Yeah.
those colored pencils?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. No, that's beautiful. Great job on
Yeah, thank
that.
you. Yeah, that one is definitely going to become an envelope as well. So I got to work through some of these coloring pages because I feel like I need more envelopes in my life.
Well, envelopes in your life are good.
Nick's here. Hi, Nick. Ashley's here. Quiet crew tonight.
Yeah.
Interesting. You know, I have a theory actually about that.
Okay.
My theory is that people are slowly but surely starting to get back to their everyday, quote, everyday lives.
Yeah. Hello, Frank. Welcome.
Hey, Frank. And a lot of folks are starting to go back to work. They're starting to go back out to restaurants and, so I think,
Well, I think people just aren't interested in because now that I'm not kidnapped, they have no reason to come.
yeah, it's
Yeah, I chase
funny.
people away.
It's funny. As soon as you came back on, people were like, oh, he's
Oh,
back. He's
he's back.
okay.
No need to watch. Yeah.
But yeah, my real life theory is that people have like more of their everyday life things that are starting to,
Returning. Yeah.
yeah, but and which is
Yeah.
I think is a really good thing. It's a really
Yeah.
positive thing. People are getting back
Anna's
to
here. Welcome.
their old ways.
Yeah. Well, we're thankful to have you here for those of you who have joined us. So
Yes.
we're always thankful to have people to chat with.
for sure.
Thanks, Nick. I'm glad that I kept napped as well. So, just to keep everyone in the loop, in the future people in the loop, because we do have a lot of people that do watch the replays, so which is
That's true.
beautiful as
That's
well. So,
true.
um, for those of you in the future and those of you here now, we went to our first stage of mediation today. So it's called pre-mediation with my contracted employer. And this is where each side states their case to the mediator to see if the issue can be mediated rather than go to court. And then the mediator entity will provide a pre-argument conclusion of where each case stands, and then and then he'll give his suggestions of the way he sees it at this point, working out or not working out. If both sides don't agree with what he says, then we will actually go to mediation and present our case in full. And at that point, he will make a decision. The decision is binding. Should we go to full mediation rather than trial? We can also not go to mediation, full mediation, and go to trial. So
Got it.
that's where we are. We're hoping everything is going to be settled by next week. I'm hoping to have everything settled by my birthday, which would be a nice birthday
And
present to
this
know
is to have
either
the
way
clarification around the
of
contractual
what.
terms,
Right, exactly, exactly.
what art means, or what
Art output,
art output means.
artistic
That's right.
output. Yeah,
Artistic output. Right.
yeah.
All right.
So
Well,
we
good
think we
luck
have.
with that.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, we think we have a strong argument. It seemed to have been well received.
Good.
Our argument. So and so it's just a matter of yeah. But I don't want to say too much. But yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So
No, I hear you. Yeah.
we're hoping that there
These
will
are
be
delicate
a
issues. These are delicate
well,
topics.
they're real issues. So,
For
but
real.
yeah, and we are, and nobody wants to hurt anybody's feelings, and we just want a general clarification. And both sides, or would be very healthy to have a clarification of what the terms mean. And so,
Yeah.
so we're hoping that this will be have some kind of solution by the end of the month. So, which would be nice.
That would be
Because I
nice.
want to get to coloring. I want to get to coloring again, maybe, or at least crafting again. You know,
Yeah.
demoing and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. So, so I'd love to know what people are working on. Big shout out! I gave a shout out to Frank personally via DM, but his new episode. It's a special episode. It was released early for a purpose to celebrate the anniversary of his guests. And so, if you haven't heard the latest episode, I think it's episode 83, if I'm correct.
Ooh.
It really is a very, very special episode. And I don't want to give too much away on that, but it's definitely worth the listen. It's probably one of the quickest 1 hour listens that you will have.
Really?
It's so, the stories are so engrossing, and it really is. It's good to know that there are really good people still in the world, and there are really good people who have overcome difficulties, and so have definitely made, you know, lemonade out of lemons, kind of thing. So,
I like it. I
yeah,
like it.
absolutely, absolutely. So,
I'll have
I
to put
highly
that one in my
recommend.
queue.
I highly recommend people going to listen if you haven't listened to it already. Also, the fall catalog or the winter catalog for Hero Arts is available, which will feature another stamp set
Yes.
by our own Pocono Pam and Miss Dana Joy. So congratulations on that.
Congratulations, ladies.
It's a
That's
series. Yeah, it's a series of
huge.
it's
Yeah.
a series of sentiments as well. So that is great. And then they're supposed to have the release of their second stamp set, I believe, this month, if I'm not mistaken. And this is one that has diversity and children in it. So
I saw that one
yeah,
on her page. It looks really cute.
yeah. So so good things are happening. Like I said, good things are happening to good people, which is great.
Absolutely. That's what we
Yeah,
want. That's what we want.
that's exactly what we want. Frank says, Allie, can we see what you're working on? That looks cool. So I think now that you have it, yeah.
Frank, can you see? Can you guys see my?
Dorothy,
Is it?
I can see it. So I think we have a lag in terms
Oh,
of,
okay.
yeah.
Okay. Hey,
Uh,
Dorothy.
yeah, I was going to say Dorothy Lowe has joined. Welcome,
Hello
Dorothy.
again. Yep, yep.
And do you have a color palette in mind when you start these, or
No,
you just
it's
go and do it? Good for you.
random.
Good for no, great.
Very
It's
random.
so great. Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not sure what color this is going to turn out. We're going to find out. We're going to see.
Dorothy waves back. Oh, he said it was at an angle. It was the angle. Yes, now he can see it. So
Okay,
good.
good, good, good. All right, so yeah, so for anybody uninitiated with the coloring book, this is Russ's Crayola Nature Escapes coloring book, and this is the black background sea turtle, which eventually will become a beautiful lined envelope once I'm done. That's the plan, Stan.
And I'd love to see what you're gonna line that with. That's where the design.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's where the
that's the
design stuff comes in.
question.
That's really fun. Yeah,
That is
yeah.
the biggest question of them all. I was like, oh my gosh, what paper do I have that is busy enough and colorful enough and patterned enough that it'll make a suitable liner? That's a good question. And I don't
I'm
know
interested
the
to see
answer
how
to
you.
it.
I'm interested to see how you're going to do the waves, the swirlies on that.
Me too.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah. No,
waiting to
no, great. I'm
surprise
just yeah.
myself.
Um, Nick says she keeps on looking at her City Escapes coloring book, but gets a little anxiety ridden when trying to choose what to color.
Me too. Sometimes you have to just rip a random page out and go at it. That's what I do.
Hey, Nan, welcome.
Hey, Nan.
I honestly, I find so she's just doing the creepy Gollum thing with her precious coloring book. Uh, oh my pretty, right?
My
Uh,
precious.
my precious. Sorry, yes. Um, yeah, I find, and I'm going to be very honest here. I find that one more difficult to color than the Nature Escapes, um,
Really?
because it has monuments. Jennifer's here. Welcome, Jennifer. It
Hello.
has monuments and landmarks and things like that. And the question then becomes, how do you color those things? You know,
Right, because if you get a Statue
yeah,
of Liberty up in there, it's like, well, I have to
right. Do
make
I
it
color
this
it
the special
exactly?
green.
Right, exactly. To where the Nature Escapes ones you can color any which way, and it's not going to make a
Yeah,
difference
you have no idea what this tea turtle
right,
is going to
because they're
turn
not
out like.
representative.
Yeah.
When I can start sharing things again, the one that I have colored from the Cityscapes was the New York one. And I did it as a birthday anniversary present to my friends of mine. I'm waiting to get it framed, but I'll share that with you to show you how I did that one. Um, but I find, like I said, I find that one a little bit more difficult. That book a little bit more difficult. I'd much rather have geometrics
Mm-hmm.
or words or whatever the case may be to color, or mottos. I like you know me. I like topography and those kind of things. So I like sayings and those kind of things to color those things. But yeah, cool.
And for those of you out there who are about to invest in some colored pencils, get the good quality ones. Don't get the ones I use. They break.
Well, you know what the biggest thing that causes colored pencils to break?
Coloring too hard?
Well, there is that, but design wise and the way that they're made, if you look at a pencil, if the lead is centered,
Mm-hmm.
that will be a big indication of whether your pencil is your tip is going to break. What tends to happen is that many of them are off centered, and so
Oh,
you apply uneven pressure to them, and that's where you have problems.
I never knew
Uh,
that. Hmm.
yeah. Things you learn on the throwdown.
I mean, I never put two and two together on that one. I'm like, oh, they're just cheap. Very scientific explanation. They're just cheap.
But some of them are softer leads than others too, and the softer the lead, the more likely it is to break.
Truth.
You know how
Yeah, I
like
can
you have
see
a number
that.
two pencil and then all the other
Ah,
thicknesses of pencil. Yeah. Did you break again?
I'm about to
Goodness
huck this thing
gracious.
in the
Yeah.
trash. Is what I'm about to do. So Russell,
I
are you
have
working on something there, even though we can't
I am
see it?
not.
Ah,
I'm not. Um I have a whole bunch of this is an old tradition. I don't know. Jennifer says good tip or bad tip if you're if you're off centered. I have this is an old Chinese and Japanese Asian tradition of getting pottery and keeping your what they would do is they would call these brush pots and they would put
pretty.
their calligraphy brushes in them.
Okay.
And so I've continued that tradition by this is a hand thrown pot that I
That's
purchased in Vermont.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I keep my colored pencils in. These are my Crayola ones.
Now, are they
But I
always
have
triangular in shape, or is that
no.
okay?
They could be round or whatever shape.
It's
It's
called a
just that
brush pot.
taking a brush
That's
pot, yeah.
beautiful. Can we see a close
And
up?
so see
Yeah.
how it's
Look at the
textured,
texture.
and it's
Yeah.
actually two different colors.
Wow.
This is a dark color as this has the lighter color, but it's like a coffee brown.
I
That's a
dig
better
it. That's
color.
nice.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but um, but so I always keep my Crayola ones in my brush pot, um, and then um, and then I also keep my paintbrushes in a brush pot. Definitely snaky, yes, absolutely. Um, but I also have the full set. Uh, Let me get it off camera real quick. But these are my color pencils of choice. These are the Prismacolor. I think,
Prismacolor. Yeah.
yeah, I think Ashley had asked one time, and this is you don't need the Mac Daddy set like I have here. This one is 120 colors, which is the largest set, and it is an investment. But um, like I try to explain with my Misty, I always recommend people to get the best that you can afford. And in different times in your life, you're going to be able to afford different things,
That's
obviously.
so true.
Um,
Yep.
but do the best that you can because being frugal means spending money, but good quality things will last you longer, as what you're finding out with your pencils. I guess is no, and I don't mean to denigrate your pencils, but
No,
I'm
not at
saying,
all. I'm about to
yeah,
huck these
but
away in the trash. They're just not good pencils. But I mean, to be fair, I don't have an official like pencil set. Like yours looks very
right.
official. This is a hodgepodge of whatever whatever
Well,
pencils
that's the
I
thing.
find lying around.
Well, that's
They just
well, that's the thing. You have kids, and you have pencils that are amenable to kids,
yep.
and you have the dual end ones where one side is one color, the other side is another color to maximize, you know, to minimize the space and maximize the product,
Right.
that kind of thing. So you have, like you said, I have the same thing with crayons. I have all kinds of crayons or crayons, as some of you say, um, that in bits and pieces and paper without paper, same brand, different brand. I have this big old, you know, just boxes of these little pieces of crayons. So yes, Frank says his favorite phrase he tells everyone is always buy the very best. You'll never be disappointed.
Oh yeah.
Crayons.
There's definitely some truth
Um,
to that.
yeah, Frank says that was a Mercedes Benz ad in the 1980s.
I still have that Bumblebee song in my head
Yeah.
all day long. It has been in my head.
I had the Feed the Birds song in my head all day.
Tuppence a bag, yo.
Tuppence a bag.
And as a kid, I did not like that movie.
I never
Why?
saw it as a kid. I only saw it as an adult or an adult.
Ah.
So so
It's
I
just
didn't have
not one
to.
of my favorite Disney movies. I don't know. I could just never get into it. But
What was it about that you could get into?
I
Was it the
think it was.
story? Was the
No, the story was fine. It was just the way Disney introduced the animation and they tried to
right?
intermingle it with the regular cinematography. I don't. It just seemed forced, if that makes any sense.
Well, but it was that was the thing
And it
because
was
that was
probably
the
very
first
ahead of
movie.
its time
It
for
was
what they
that
were
was that
doing.
you just beat me to the punch. Absolutely, it was the very first movie to use that feature of live animation. Uh, Ashley said that Disney movies are dead to her because of Bambi. Um,
Ah,
yeah,
Bambi.
but it was just like that whole bed knobs and broomsticks and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it
Chitty
was right
chitty
around that
bang
same
bang,
era. Yeah.
right? And it was the first use of that kind of cinematography, and so it was ahead of its time. And so I think just like when they went into CinemaScope, and, doing it just for the sake of doing it and showing everyone that you could,
Right.
you know, or that Lux Color feature. I forgot the name of it, but yeah. Pocono Pam's here.
She's
Yay,
back.
Pam.
Hello.
We talked about you earlier. We
We
sent you
did. We did.
congratulations on your Hero Arts catalog
She's got
entry.
3 sets out now.
Is it 3 she has out now?
I believe so. Yeah. I saw 3. Pam, correct us if we're wrong. You have 3 stamp sets out now, right? On Hero Arts?
So I know
Or
that
maybe
she
there's
has
more.
the one that we know that has sold out
The
again. I was
hands. Yes.
right.
It's
The
sold out twice, by the
yeah,
way.
United as one. Yeah. Oh, so Pam says yes. So she's saying yes. There are 3 of them out
See,
now.
I pay attention. There's
You do pay
3.
attention.
There's 3.
I bet you were a good student.
Uh,
No,
I was,
college
I
student.
was, but I always got
Okay,
progress reports home like does not pay attention, is disruptive in class.
but I mean, I'm talking about college. I'm not talking about lower levels.
Oh,
Are you a
I
good college student?
I guess I was. I spent well, I wasn't one of those people that partied really in college. I was like the
Right?
library type that would like go chill in
Yeah,
the library on a Friday night. That was
yeah.
my jam.
No, I was and when I was younger, I was the one that took every single school book home just in case I needed it.
Oh my god, me too. And like my backpack
Yeah,
would be super heavy.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh, this was before backpacks. Even when I went to school, we had to carry our books at the side of our hands. Like we were carrying a spear. You know, that was the
What?
difference. Yeah, you never heard that story?
I missed this one.
Okay, yeah. So that's how they could tell your sexuality if you're a boy, is how you carried your school books. So if you carried them down at your side, you're masculine because you're carrying them like a spear. But if you carry them against your chest like a woman, like carrying a baby, that means you were feminine.
What?
So if you carry, yeah, so if you carry them like this, you're girlish. If you carry them like this,
Okay.
like this,
You were the
you're
dude.
masculine. Yeah,
Okay,
you're the
so
dude.
was this sounds very anecdotal. Was there some scientific backing here?
No, no. Well, actually there is. What they do is because back in Neolithic times and caveman times, that's you had spear carriers and you had bearers.
Okay.
So the idea is that you had people that carried the produce against their chest when they're carrying things, and you had guys that killed buffalo and meat, and they would carry their spears down down at their waist. So yeah, but it's just that so that's how the boys picked on other boys.
By how the
Like
books were carried.
yeah,
Interesting.
just like you throw like a girl kind of thing. I'm like, well, I know
Sure,
some
yeah.
girls that can throw a baseball and knock your head off, but
Yes.
yeah, but yeah, it's that kind of thing. But keep in mind, I'm a product of the '60s and '70s, so A lot of things have changed. Thank goodness.
Indeed. Indeed.
So I'd love to know what many of you are working on and what your plans are for the weekend. And how many say weekend or how many say weekend?
We say weekend.
Weekend.
Weekend. Oops. Oh
Yeah, I
no,
still have
it
a hard
broke
time
again.
saying.
I'm not
I
sharpening this
still have a
pencil. I'm going
I
to
still have
use
a
the
hard time saying that word.
dang it all.
Dang it all!
It's almost like I don't know. It's almost like there's some other force
Life
involved with these
force.
pencils. Like that's jinxing my pencils.
No, I am folding. I am reverse folding. I'm doing origami stuff. But you can catch me in down like on the subway downtime, just folding paper and just making folds and reverse folding and seeing all that.
Do you
So
find that it's
I
a good conversation starter when you're on the subway if you're like folding stuff?
well I
Or do
used to
people
fold
just keep to
things.
themselves?
Yeah, people just keep to themselves.
No
Um,
eye contact?
yeah,
Nothing?
Janet has joined. Welcome, Janet.
Hello.
Um,
Welcome.
so I used to fold because there are two types of cranes that you can fold real quickly. One is the traditional crane, and one is the flapping wing crane that you pull its tail, and the wings flap.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. So I used to fold the flapping crane when we had unruly kids on the subway. To quiet them and to give the rest of us some comfort. You know, Um, but there are a lot fewer kids now on the subways. I've noticed. Now that may be because many of them aren't traveling with their parents
Yeah.
or their guardians, or many of them are at home at school or whatever the case may be. But so there seems to be a lot fewer. Um,
Interesting.
oh, so Janet is in Austin, moving her daughter into college. Congratulations to the both of you.
Yay. Oh, that sounds
Um,
exciting.
Yeah, so let us know. Are you going to University of Texas at Austin or some other college? Um, you definitely see a lot of weird stuff on the subway.
I mean,
Yes.
when I lived in DC, like traveling on the metro to various parts of the city, like you would see stuff, but I feel like it's probably more pronounced on New York subway.
Yeah.
And like you'll see more stuff.
Yeah. Like people
That's my
having
guess.
sex. I saw that one time at or her senior year at Texas State University.
Ooh,
Good for her. Yeah.
congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. One time I was riding the subway home after finishing at the theater, a late night at the theater, and it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was on one end of the subway car, and it was only me and this couple that were at the other end. And I'm listening to my music. I'm tired. A lot of times I just close my eyes, but stay fairly alert. Like when the doors open, you open your eyes, that kind of thing. Or if there are other people that you have to worry about. And so I zoned out and I opened up my eyes, and they were at the end of the train, at the end of the car, just going at it, having sex.
No
Just like,
way.
no, yeah, like no one was watching. Yeah.
Okay.
And it was one of those bench seats,
Um,
like on the, you remember your trains from New York, right?
yeah.
Yeah, the AC. So the A line and the C line, which is the blue line, had these long benches, as
Okay.
opposed to like the BD that has like a 3-seat bench next to a 2-seat bench,
Okay.
kind of thing. So they were just
So it was just
laid out
date
on
night.
one of the long benches, and I'm like, okay, well there you go. Let me just zone out again because I definitely don't want to watch that.
So the
Yeah,
weirdest thing I think I've ever seen happen on a subway or metro, this happened to me in DC. One morning I was going to work and I took trying to think, I was in Arlington, Virginia at the time, and I was trying to get into the city. And I took the blue line and the, I took the bus to Pentagon down the hill because I lived up the hill from there. and I'm standing down in the metro station, and a train rolls up, and there's all these people on like walkie-talkies making announcements to one another or whatever. So I'm like, huh, that's weird. Why? Like, so then they said, ladies and gentlemen, we need everyone to get off the train. And I'm standing there going, oh my God, I'm going to be late for work. What the heck? I'm supposed to be catching this train to go into the city. All the people get off the train, and I don't know if he was deceased or if he was strung out or what. But these guys came out of the little control room booth. They went into the train. They opened the doors, and there was he looked like a homeless man, like laying on one of the bench seats, and he was not moving. And they
Wow.
picked him up and they took him off. And I don't know if he like got overheated. Like I don't know what happened there.
Right.
They pulled him off, and then they carried him. It took like three guys to carry this poor man, but they carried him and they set him in the chair in the booth, the control operator booth. And then they waited a couple of minutes, and then they just told everybody to get back on the train, and then it just kept going. So I don't know what ever happened, but that was definitely one of the stranger things I've seen on public transit.
So Nick says she was on BART, which is Bay Area Rapid Transit.
Bart!
Um, and a man asked her if she wanted some meth, and when she said no, he dropped his pants and performed for her. Oh my
Oh,
gosh!
Nick, no, no,
I'm
no.
like, some people have all the fun. Oh my gosh! Like, oh my god!
What is it about me sitting on the
Yeah,
BART that makes the guy think like, yo, hey, I should come up to her and ask
yeah,
if she needs meth? Like,
yeah.
what? Oh, that's crazy.
Ashley says that there should be a new inspirational poster that says "Have sex like no one is watching."
Oh, or you're on the subway. Oh my
Or
God.
actually, she originally typed in "have sexy like no one is watching," and Frank says he likes that motto better. But yeah,
Oh boy.
um,
Anybody else have any interesting subway or public transportation stories? I'm
Nan says
all
there are a lot
ears.
of pervs on BART.
Yeah, I mean, public transit in general just seems to draw those out. I don't know
Not
why.
necessarily. I mean, I remember one time in Chicago. Chicago transit was so clean, and of course, you couldn't eat on it. You know, you couldn't have food. You know, on the train and stuff. And they were so clean. Um, yeah, I was impressed by Chicago public transit. I knocked a guy down one time on a subway station on a subway
Like on
ride
purpose?
on purpose.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. He inappropriately rubbed himself against me, and I knocked him
No.
down. Yeah.
No.
Nick 00017 has joined. Welcome. Now's not a good
Hello.
time to join our
Oh, you
broadcast
know
because we're
what?
talking about. Yeah, go
We're
ahead.
talking, Nikki, we're talking about creepy experiences on public transit. And I was just telling them about my story when I lived up the hill from Pentagon. I was on the DC Metro at Pentagon, and they had to pull this poor homeless man off of the train. And, like, I don't know if he was deceased or if he was just like strung out or he was having some kind of medical issue, but they had to stop the train, offload everybody, and pull this poor man. It took three people to carry him off the train. So I'd be curious. Do you have any crazy like public transit stories from when you were in DC?
Nick 17 says Bart didn't impress her, and she likes New York City subways. Nan says she always makes sure that she isn't on the car with the trench coat man.
There's always
Uh,
one. Like, why does
yeah, so
every
every
train
city,
has one?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then, if you, depending on where in DC you took the train, if you in particular, like, the more frequently you traveled, like, this is like a law of averages in DC. If you took the train into Southeast DC, you'll see more stuff. What's that?
Cinnamons,
Cinnamons reads.
cinnamons. These are the Vermont Vermont store.
I was gonna say that looks like
Yeah.
some off-brand British candy. What is that?
No, this is from that Vermont store. Remember, I told you I bought like $100 worth of candy. So this is
Yes.
one of the ones that the old school hard candies. Yeah. So
Oh my
that's
gosh, Nick had a
yeah.
guy in the DC Metro who kept hitting her butt. He hit her butt like 10 times and she kept trying to move away. It was very creepy. One time I actually took the DC Metro. I had a friend who lived down near Eastern Market, which is closer to the southeast part of DC, just outside of Southeast DC. And anyway, I overheard one of the guys who works on the metro. He was like, "Oh yeah, we just cleaned out that car. I just found a crack rock the size of a pager." Like just the stuff they would find on the subway or metro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Nick 17 was saying on DC Metro, so I'm hoping she's gonna
metro. Yup.
finish the story. But we find that stuff in front of the theater every morning when we clean up.
Crack rocks.
We find oh, crack pipes, rocks.
Jesus.
The other day we found a jewelry box, and we're like, "All right, we've hit pay dirt."
What
Let's
was
find out
in
what
it?
because it rattled when we shook it,
Uh huh.
and it was a crack. It was three crack pipes and a piece of rock.
Damn it.
Yeah. So we threw that away, but yeah, but
Was it a nice
um,
jewelry box at least?
it was a nice box. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Nick
Someone's
17 says
treasured
she saw a
possession.
dude on the platform with like an ankle monitor on. I was like, what the hell?
Good old DC for you.
Yeah.
Yup.
And Rockabilly Nick says, yeah, you get felt up a lot on BART. I'm like, well, that never happens to me when I was on BART. So maybe I was hanging out at the wrong
Wow.
place because that's my kind of people. Yeah. But anyway, uh, Jennifer says she had a guy practically fall asleep on her shoulder once. Oh, I get that all the time. Something about my shoulders, people. But in
They
Japan,
cozy
that's
right
a
up to
thing.
it, don't they?
Yeah. Well, in Japan, that's a thing, and Japanese are so tolerant of others that it's a thing. You just let them sleep on your shoulder until it's your time, and then you feel badly about having to reposition them to get off the train. But
Really?
yeah, oh yeah, not uncommon at all to let someone rest their head on your shoulder on the trains in Japan. Yeah,
That just maybe by U.S. standards, like I'm like, what?
yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's that whole thing. We don't know what he's gone through, so and it's not harming me any kind of thing.
Right on. Yeah.
Yeah,
True.
yeah. Nick 17 said I had a guy sit next to her on an almost empty train. I moved, and I was like, "This is too much." Yeah, that's the thing. But I get those people as well. Like there could be
Yes.
10 empty seats on a freaking subway train, and they want to sit next to
Yeah. It's like,
me.
why did you
Yeah,
pick this seat?
yeah.
Yeah.
Especially now this COVID stuff where it's supposed to be social distancing and stuff like that. I flat out told someone, it says, why are you next to me? What part 6 feet don't you understand when all these other seats are available? Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, man. I just tired. I'm like, okay, we'll be tired somewhere else. Yeah,
Be tired somewhere
yeah,
else.
yeah.
Uh,
Nan wants to know, did you live in the Bay Area, Nick?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That's Rockabilly Nick.
Tell us your
Um,
secrets.
She says her brother lives there, so she visited him pretty often. Pam said she would always roll up the free newspaper and bob people on the head if they fell asleep on her shoulder. Uh, Nick 17 says she lives outside of DC for everyone to know. So, um,
So Nikki, I did not realize that you were still in the DC area. Cool, cool. Okay. I haven't been back there since 2008. I cannot believe that.
I haven't been to DC in probably 30 years, maybe.
I had
Yeah.
plans, I will have you know, I had plans to take our kids there to look at monuments and museums and stuff in the spring and cherry blossoms. And obviously that didn't happen, but I was so excited. I'm like, yeah, we're going back to DC. Yeah.
So Nick 17 says yes, she's in Maryland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like
See,
maybe
I
next
just
year.
don't. all those people that commute from Virginia and Maryland to DC, it just it always confuses me. No, I'm serious. I was just like, people say, I'm from DC, but they live in Virginia, or
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
And I'm honestly, and this is so embarrassing, I am so bad at U.S. geography.
You get better. I found it confusing at first, but you get better at it once you start to learn and get comfortable with the metro map, the map of
Right,
their metro.
right. Nick 17 says she volunteers at one of the Smithsonian museums. Well, she
Ooh.
did until COVID-19. That's exciting.
Ooh. My
Um,
husband used to work at one of the, well, he was like he did like network engineering and so forth. He used to do that at one of the Smithsonian's for a while when we lived there.
Jennifer says another time she was wearing a pom pom like headband for her birthday, and a biker dude smiled at her and wished her a happy birthday after I told him why she was wearing a crazy headband. So, so Jennifer, I could totally see you rocking crazy headbands. I mean, if you have a watermelon shirt, so or a watermelon headband, or so there's something you had a picture of the other day. I was like, that's Jennifer. Yeah. Nick 17 says she's good at geography if it's a state on the coast. Uh,
It's the
I
flyovers. I'm like, what?
yeah
Where's Iowa?
yeah
Why
no
is this here?
I used to memorize. I used to take a blank U.S. map and memorize it, and just put, all. I felt so badly that I couldn't. I was so bad at geography, U.S. geography, so I would just fill in all the state names, and then for practice. But I had gotten out of practice because someone gave me a map of the Far East, and I could almost, without a fault, label all of the countries in the Far East. Um, so Jennifer says yes, laugh out loud. She does have a giant watermelon bag. So and Rockabilly Nick says she's terrible at U.S. geography. Did anyone ever learn the song 50 Nifty United States? Does that ring a bell
No.
to anybody? So I want to
Is
know,
this like a
Frank.
schoolhouse rocks
Well, no, it's
song?
one of the ways that we learn the names of the states, but they're in alphabetical order. And so, oh no, I'll get him away.
It's not Friday
Oh,
night without a
gross.
Pepito sighting, okay? I'm just saying. I'm
Okay,
just going to
Pam
go
wants
ahead
me
and
to
pull my
sing it.
camera up for a second.
Carrie's here. Hey,
Hello,
Carrie.
Carrie. You're just in time.
You're just in time to hear me sing 50 Nifty United States. So it goes 50 nifty United States from 13 original colonies. Shout 'em, tell all about 'em one by one till given a day for every state in the U.S. of A. And each kid had a placard with a sign of the state that they were singing. And each of
Which
us
did
got
you
to
get to
sing.
be Idaho?
No. So it's Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, North Carolina, North Dakota,
I feel like we need some jazz hands
Ohio,
in here.
Oklahoma, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Vermont, Virginia, Washington, West Virginia, Wisconsin, Wyoming. There you go.
So you sang this
So
for school?
yeah, but each of the kids sang the chorus, and then each of the kids had a placard. But we always used to fight
Oh.
over who got to be Texas, because we got to go Texas, yeah, with our
Oh,
yeah.
got it.
So yeah, but the funny thing is that I would, with my map, I would sing the song and put the names of the states on the map, and that's how I
Aha.
remembered them. So
So that's how you learned your
uh,
states.
that's how you learn your states. Uh, Nick 17 says she had a professor in college who would freehand draw the countries in different parts of the world. It was terrible. She couldn't recognize the country in his map. Horrible. Nick says,
Like, I
"Don't."
don't
Or at least
know.
my song is
Algeria
anyway.
looks really
So,
wavy. I don't think it's supposed to be that
no,
wavy.
so I'm a Pam. I did make it up. It's actually a song that we learned in elementary school. So, but the problem is that I can't do them out of order. So if I need to remember what
You have to go through
Maryland, I
the
have to sing the
entire
whole thing. Yeah,
song.
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Jennifer says another time she dressed up as a New York City tourist for Halloween and asked other people on the subway if this train that stopped at 79th Street. She was on the local, so she knew that in fact it did stop at 79th Street. Yeah, that takes guts, and that's a true New Yorker there.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
yeah. No, I dressed up a drag one Halloween, and nobody batted an eye. Yeah, it
I
was
mean,
just
it's the
like, yeah,
subway.
yeah, exactly. 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm going home in 5-inch heels, and nobody batted an eye.
No, I can imagine
Yeah.
probably not.
Nick says her husband has a friend who can freehand draw a map of the U.S. and all of the states. That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's some skill. That is some skill to be like an offhand cartographer and like have your
Yeah.
maps be
I mean,
super
I
on point
love
when you draw
maps.
them.
I love maps, period.
Me
So,
too.
yeah.
I'm that weirdo that takes the free tourism maps when I go
Oh,
places.
well, I do my
They make good
usually travel
projects.
journals.
Yeah,
I
they
do
make really
travel
good
journals,
projects.
so yeah, they're great backgrounds. Mm-hmm. So Carrie sent me some voter postcards that she didn't care for, and I swapped for her. And I'm thinking what I'm going to do. Um, Carrie says, "Where's the pumpkin apron to go with the watermelon top,
Oh,
Miss
it's over
Allison?
there.
It's
But I'm
over
not.
there.
I
She's
wasn't
not doing
sure what I
messy
was
stuff.
gonna do
Yeah,
tonight. I
she's
was
not doing
like,
messy stuff. So
I was gonna do some jelly rolling, and then I decided not to. So yeah.
Nick 17 says she loves maps and brochures. I still owe you folks a flip through my Japanese travel journal. Maybe we can do that sometime next week.
Yes. Yeah. Are you allowed to do that?
I think because it's already done. Yes, but I will find out.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
Jennifer says, laugh out loud. She was wearing a New York I Heart New York T-shirt and a Statue of Liberty foam hat with a Macy's shopping bag in hand. That's total tourist. Yep. Oh, yeah.
Intense.
So Carrie sent me these. So Nick 17, I lived in Japan for 10 years when I was in the military. Carrie sent me these voter postcards that she got off of Amazon that she didn't care for when she received them. And I told her that I would repurpose them. So I think I'm going to do is next week, if I'm allowed to demo, I'm going to overprint them with something appropriate to my political point of view and use those as the base and then send those out.
So it's like a
Yeah.
print on top of a print, essentially.
Right, right. Nick 17 says she wants to go there and she wants to go to Disneyland Tokyo.
I want to go to Shanghai Disney. That's where I want to
Yeah.
go. But I don't
Have
want to sit on a plane for 24 hours.
have any of you? Shanghai's not 24. It's about 14. Stop exaggerating.
14 hours from New York to get to
Yeah,
Shanghai?
yeah,
What?
yeah.
It took me nearly 24 hours to get to Hong Kong.
Really?
Yeah.
How many connections did you make?
Oh,
Was it a direct flight?
Boston to Newark International, and then from Newark direct to Hong Kong.
Wow. Wow. It's
I feel like it took just
no,
shy
no,
of 24
no, no.
hours.
It may. Wow. Because I mean, I've gone. The longest flight I've ever been on was a 16-hour flight to Australia.
Really?
But yeah, yeah,
And I think if you were
but
to go further east, like if I think it would take you. I for some reason I thought it would take you a full 24 hours to get from like New York or Newark to
right,
like Tokyo.
right.
I
No,
think
yeah. I mean, my
maybe
my
my
trips
plane
to
was just slow. I don't know.
yeah, or yeah, it may have been your
Got the
carrier.
slow plane.
Yeah. No, I mean I've gotten to Tokyo in as few as 13 hours from New York.
13?
Yeah,
Maybe I was taking the wrong airplane there. That was,
yeah.
yeah. Wow. Okay.
Um,
Took the wrong
oh
flight.
well, Anna says that when she went to Seoul last summer, it was a 23-hour flight, so maybe, yeah.
Yes, that
Uh,
sounds more like it.
Carrie
Yeah,
says
yeah.
her uncle's in Tasmania and his flight and layovers are 24 hours.
Whew.
Um, Nick
Yeah.
17 says it was 18 hours to get to Hong Kong connection in Chicago.
That sounds right. That's, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so yeah. Um, so Nick says she wants to go to all the Disneylands and she's been to the one in Paris.
Ah, I want to go to that one.
Yeah,
That one has the Ratatouille ride. The original Ratatouille ride.
yeah. So Anna, where in Seoul did your family go? Where? Never mind. That was a stupid question. I was gonna say, where in Korea did your family go? And she tells me in her comment she went to Seoul. Oh gosh, it's the
It's
end of the week.
Friday. You
Yeah,
get
it's
it.
Friday
You get,
exactly.
everybody gets one. Everybody gets one.
Nick 17 says it was a cute ride. Your Ratatouille ride.
Well, they are building one in Orlando, but I'm not sure what if the construction is still on schedule with COVID or if it's lagged. But
So Anna, I have a funny Korea story. Uh, we were going to Seoul right after they had done the Asian Games in preparation for the Seoul Olympics. And so we were staying in Busan, and I took a bus from Busan to Seoul, um, and no one would sit next to me. And I'm like,
why?
yeah, and so I'm like, why? What's what have I done? And she says, Anna says her niece is doing a PhD, and like, what's wrong with me? Why would doesn't anyone want to say? Pocono Pam says Siri to New York to Tokyo. Siri says New York City to Tokyo is 12 hours 15 minutes.
Well, clearly I was on the wrong flight.
Yeah.
I don't know why it took as
So
long as it
so
did.
I'm Nick 17 says beautiful turtle.
Thank you.
And Carrie says looks good, Allie.
Thank
Allison.
you.
So finally I talked to someone that was going to give us a tour of the stadium because the Navy guys were getting a free tour uh, of the Tokyo Stadium, and I said, why wouldn't anybody sit next to me? And
Did you have your uniform on?
I did,
Okay.
I did, and he goes, because you have Crest breath, because I use Crest toothpaste. They were offended by the smell of my toothpaste. So
What?
yeah.
Well,
So
what
it was
toothpaste do
some.
they use in Tokyo? That's like
Oh
mainstream
no, this was in Seoul,
in Seoul.
Korea.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think it's because they're so used to eating different foods and the smell of their foods that they have. Yeah.
They found your
Uh,
crest breath offensive.
yeah. Uh, so yeah.
Interesting.
And
Nick is
yeah.
like, what?
Yeah. No, it was and I don't mean to be negative or demeaning or anything like that, but the joke was because I didn't have kimchi breath because so
I
many
love
people eat
kimchi.
kimchi, and it has a distinct smell, and that because I didn't have kimchi breath, I had crest breath. No one wanted to sit next to me. So
Because it was different. It was different.
yes, yeah, yeah. Um, Jennifer is asking, how much is a postcard stamp? Anybody? Anybody?
35 cents?
35 cents
In the
is the
US, right?
in the US, yes. If you're
Yeah.
sending it internationally, it's still $1.20. And it says they don't mingle much with foreigners. You're absolutely correct.
Interesting.
Yep. And we have a bunch of people jumping on the bandwagon. 35 cents, 35 cents. I'm glad everyone knows the prices. Oh, get Pepito out. Out, out, out.
If anyone ever told me that on a Friday night when I was an adult, I would be playing with a hand
Yeah.
puppet with people that I don't know from other
Right.
areas, I would not believe them. But here
So
we are.
Anna, Yeah, I just need to clarify. Anna, you're absolutely correct. The
Internet
culture is
strangers.
beautiful and definitely practice respect. You're absolutely, like I said, I don't mean to denigrate the culture, but yes, they don't
The food
mix
must be
with.
so amazing over there.
If you, it's a different kind of food, absolutely.
I dream of
But
kimchi. I like kimchi a lot, actually.
I don't like
I
cabbage, any
love
cabbage
it.
products. Yeah, sauerkraut, any fermented. Yeah,
No, nothing
I'm not.
fermented, nothing
I'm not a big
cabbagey.
fermented. Yeah. Um, um,
What is your least favorite food of all time? Like, what food? What food do
we
you
have.
find most icky?
I'm a big texture person.
Okay.
So if it has a strange texture, like a rubbery texture, like one time I ate octopus, it was the
I
gross,
was gonna
grossed
say
me out.
calamari. No, not
Yeah,
so much.
no. Well, I don't eat anything from the sea anymore. So, but I remember eating uni, which is sea urchin.
I love uni. Best,
No,
yeah, uni's
no,
the
no, no.
best sushi. Oh my god.
Yeah, no, 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 no. I would eat a whole tray of Brussels sprouts before I would eat. I love
Nikki
peas,
hates peas.
okra. Yeah,
I can see okra.
okra. Okra is a little slimy for me, depending on how it's cooked. Um, Carrie says
Mayonnaise.
least favorite mayonnaise. I love mayonnaise,
Actually, I feel that
but
way about
cottage
cottage
cheese.
cheese. I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's yeah. I actually we cannot be friends. Oh my gosh, Ashley hates olives.
oh, I love
Uh,
olives.
I could eat my weight in olives. Green olives. Oh, I love cream corn. Oh my gosh, that's like need to stop hanging around you people.
Cream
Oh
corn.
my
I like the
gosh,
cream
I
corn that you get in like the frozen packets. My mom gets those. I've been eating them since I was a kid. But you get the frozen block of creamed corn, and then you put it in the microwave, and it has this delicious sauce. Oh, it's so good. It's so
yeah,
good.
it's so funny. Everyone, Nick 17 says she hates most olives. I love all olives. I just
Green
I
olives,
I love green
they're
olives. I love
okay.
stuffed green
I like
olives. I
black
don't like the
olives, and
stuffed.
I like Kalamata.
I don't like the olives that are stuffed with like cheese, or they're stuffed with stuff with the mice, stuff with rats. I don't like anything stuffed with rats. Yeah. Uh, Carrie says she made mayonnaise in the eighth grade science class. Ever since, gross.
You've made
Tapioca.
mayonnaise?
Oh, mayonnaise is
Ew.
easy to make. Yeah.
I
I
don't like
love pickles.
mayonnaise.
Love, love, love pickles. We have 1 minute left.
Tapioca. No, we don't because it didn't give me a countdown.
But I'm telling you, it's 10:59.
Well, as always, guys, been a pleasure. And I know for a fact this weekend I'm going to be like, oh man, I wish there was Throwdown tonight. So I guess we'll see you Monday. And
Absolutely. Have a great weekend or a
yeah,
great weekend.
stay out of trouble.
How weekend? How do you say
Weekend,
it? Weekend.
weekend. I call it the weekend.
I
But
say
yeah,
weekend.
have
So
a
yeah.
great evening, guys, and have a wonderful
Absolutely.
weekend. See
You
you
as
Monday.
well. Bye.
Bye.